What's up, everybody? It is Rohit Raju here for another, I guess you could say, hot button, hot topic that I just kind of want to talk about and discuss. It is creators, whether that is a director, a writer, a producer, someone in charge of the company, attacking fans for not liking the product that they put out. We see a lot of this nowadays on social media, especially Twitter. You see it sometimes in articles that are either with a YouTuber or whatever. But you see these creators dogging fans that don't like their work. You see a lot of it now, and I think it started with the biggest one, the largest one, which was The Last Jedi. I am not a fan of that movie. I don't like the sequel trilogy for very good reasons, but that is a video for another day. However, there were a lot of fans that were just hateful and spiteful because a person of color was in this role or it had a female lead, which is absolutely stupid. That's a horrible reason to like something. But there also were a bunch of fans that did not like Last Jedi, myself included, because it was not that great of a movie. I don't even call it a great movie. It's a good movie. Even if you separate it from the trilogy and you just boil it down to its own thing, it has a lot of bad, like just the subplots and some of the story beats were just not good. Some of the decisions, but that's, like I said, that's a whole different video. But it has valid reasons not to like it. How they treated legacy characters, that's a big one for a lot of people. And you saw people complain about these things, and instantly the backlash from fans that liked it, more importantly, the creators. I remember Pablo Hidalgo, Ryan Johnson, they were calling fans man babies, calling them racist and sexist. It's like, hey, I'm going to pull this card so I don't have to listen to your criticisms or have a valid debate with you. Fans do the same thing. Fans that like a product, they instantly want to shut down a conversation by saying, well, you didn't understand it, or you're racist, or you're this, you're that. That is the most asinine thing to do. People don't have to like something. A lot of times people don't like something and they have legit reasons why they don't like it. I remember walking out of the theater and my friends were, that was just as good as Empire Strikes Back, and I just wanted to punch them. I'm like, that was not. But I remember having this feeling like, well, I don't want to piss on their parade. I don't want to tell them they're wrong. And I remember thinking to myself, I don't think I liked that. And I wanted to like it. I defended Force Awakens. I loved Force Awakens. And I said, oh, there's going to be reasons why Rey is this. And sure, it was a rehash kind of New Hope, but I defended that movie. And I remember watching that in the theater several times. Last Jedi, I remember I watched it the first time. And I was like, man, I don't think I like this movie. As I was saying this to myself, I was like, well, let me watch it again. And I watched it again, and I'm like, I don't like this movie. And I watched it a third time, and I think I watched it a total of four times. And the fourth time, I think I remember coming out of that, and I'm like, I hate this movie. And I had valid reasons, but I remember I didn't want to speak up about it because if you were to speak up, there were so many fans, my friends included, which would debate me and they would say, "Well, you just don't get it." And it's this masterpiece of this. That movie is not a masterpiece. By far a masterpiece. Is it a good movie? Sure. Great movie? Not even. Has so many flaws, it's ridiculous. But I remember these valid criticisms and the people that created the movie doubling down. Even to this day, Ryan Johnson, when you ask him about it, he's still like, yeah, it's a great movie. I love it, this, that, and the other. And still attacking fans for having theories, attacking fans for not liking the direction where the story went. And those are all valid critiques. It's valid criticism. And it's constructive criticism a lot of times what they gave that movie, but these creators just didn't want to listen. And then they totally panicked, and Rise of Skywalker came out, which was another horrible movie. That was a movie I actually liked in theaters, but when I actually thought about it and the shiny new toy feel was gone, I remember thinking to myself, why the hell did I even like that? That was bad. And I think that my initial response was because they tried to course correct what The Last Jedi did. That just wasn't the right response. I do remember J.J. Abrams saying, hey, if you don't like this, it's okay. which I thought was a really great way to approach something. If fans don't like it, it's okay. It's okay for you not to like it. It's okay for you not to have that in your canon. That was a very mature way of doing it instead of baiting fans or fighting with fans. Last of Us 2, I know the show's out, so I won't spoil what happens in the video game, but there was something that happened in the video game that really rubbed a lot of people the wrong way. Me, when I found out what happened, I refused to play the game. And I remember watching a playthrough, and they were forcing you, a character gets killed, a beloved character gets killed in Last of Us 2, and the way it happens is kind of bullshit. It's just like they're like, oh, well, killing's bad, revenge is bad, and the deaths and killing they do throughout the rest of the game is just it's criticism. You're being not criticism. I'm sorry, you're being a hypocrite. The whole thing is just hypocritical. And then again, you have these fans, well, you just didn't understand it. No, if someone doesn't like the way this character died, they don't like it. It was a bullshit way of doing it. And once that happens in the TV show, it's going to create that same controversy. But I remember Anita Skargesian, I'm totally butchering the name and I apologize, and Neil Druckmann crapped on fans for not liking the direction that they took the story. How are you going to crap on fans for not liking the direction that you killed a beloved character that grew on people, that you played with in the first one, you know, and for the majority of it, and well, spoiler right there, I guess. But like the way this person gets killed, the way this character gets killed, how early this character gets killed, it was almost like a big FU to gamers. And when that happens, this character, not only do you have to play as this character that killed the main character, but they try to force you to like said character. And once you didn't like it, you were called, what was it, a sexist, you were called transphobe, or whatever it was. And it's just such a bullshit excuse to bring up. People have valid critiques, once again. But these creators double and triple down on it, and they insult these fans, and then they wonder why sales plummet, and then there's a huge backlash, and then why people don't want to support your product, the next product you put out. It's because you're a complete jerk about it. Instead of saying, yeah, I can see why people didn't like that. We did a radical thing, and instead of people embracing it, there was backlash. If you don't understand why there's backlash, what are you doing? Like you got your head up your own ass. Another example, Rings of Power. I watched that whole series, and I'm a big Tolkien fan. One of my favorite books is The Silmarillion. I watched that whole series. And instead of, I remember they were saying, instead of doing what they had said was like, oh, we are really being respectful to the lore, we're this, that, and the other. No, they were not. They took characters and tried to tell a better story over something that didn't need change. It's already classical literature, it's already classical fantasy, it's classical story, which is perfect. There's a reason why people still love it to this day, and that's like Tolkien's work. And it's because it doesn't need to be changed. Instead, they put this whole political narrative and this agenda and they checked all these boxes, and that's what they wanted to do. And then when fans had this blowback because you took great literature and totally changed it into something that you wanted to do that had nothing to do with Tolkien's work, and then you're wondering why fans are angry, and instead, once again, you call fans racist. And granted, guys, I'm not saying there's not racist people out there. I'm not saying there's not sexist people out there. There is that type of fan base that is like that. You see a bunch of YouTubers push the same agenda all the time. However, on the other side of the spectrum, you have this toxic positivity of these people that as soon as you criticize something like this, that's the popular thing, or it's a political thing, or it's agenda pushing thing, as soon as you criticize it for whatever reason, you are part of the problem. You're a ist, you're a phobe, you're this. And like I said, it's such a bullshit excuse. It's a bullshit way of dealing with criticism. It's a horrible way of dealing with constructive criticism. And if you are that type of fan on either side, I'm going to say it, you're an idiot. You are an idiot and you are part of the problem. Just like if you're a creator that is going against these fans instead of listening to that constructive criticism and putting all criticism in one box and saying, well, you're this type of person, you're an evil person. Like the producers of the show were calling fans evil because they didn't like your show. Your show was not that good. Oh my God. It blows my mind how people have their heads that far up their ass. Whether you're on this side or this side. Like I always say, the truth is somewhere in the middle. So stop being a moron. Stop being an idiot. Like literally step outside your comfort zones. Listen to what the other people are saying on whatever side it is. If someone says I like this show, I ask them why they liked it. I don't say you're an idiot for liking it. If you liked it, cool. I didn't. And that's okay. And that's where we will agree to disagree. You don't have to like something just because there's certain characters and certain roles or they're doing this. It's dumb. It's so dumb. I remember for Last Jedi, people were like, well, he subverted your expectations. That doesn't mean it's good. That doesn't mean it's good just because you subverted my expectations. It has to be good storytelling and make sense, which a lot of these things don't make sense. And instead, you have these creators, instead of listening and improving the product, they double down and they make the same mistakes they did. I'm sure Last of Us Season 2 is going to be that way. It's going to be super, super divisive. And a lot of fans are going to tune out. I know I will, just because I'm not a fan of that. Rings of Power Season 2, I will not watch just because, they totally, here's a path they have. And instead of going down that path, they went this way. And they're staying going that way. It's like, I can't support something like that. It's not something I enjoy. It's not the work that I enjoy, that I know, the stories that I know. You can twist and turn stories here and there, but once you twist, they didn't twist the story. They shattered the story. And people say, well, they didn't have the rights to the first age or not everything in the second age. Okay, if you're going to make me lasagna, don't sit there and hype up this lasagna that you're about to make, but all you have are noodles. What is it? The little noodles, no meat, and you maybe got some spaghetti sauce. You're like, hey, this is lasagna. That's not lasagna. You don't have all the ingredients oh my God, I can't talk. I apologize. To the lasagna. Don't get mad at me when I'm like, what the hell is this? This isn't lasagna. Well, you're a horrible person for not liking my cooking. No, you promised me lasagna and you gave me watered down spaghetti. That's not my fault. That's your fault. Don't present it as such if you don't have all the ingredients to make that lasagna. In other words, if you don't have the rights to this age and that age of Tolkien's work, don't make a show about the second age when you don't have all the rights to the characters and just start creating your own stuff. And they get mad at fans when they don't like it. So, to close this up, I don't want to ramble on anymore. Or a perfect example real quick. It's like me wrestling. I listen to constructive criticism. Fans can say, well, you suck. I don't like you because you just suck. I don't listen to that type of stuff. But if people say, you were moving too slow in that match, or you were moving too quick, you're not giving enough camera time, you did this, and it's constructive criticism, I listen to that because I want to get better. And I'm not going to sit there and tell any fan that criticizes my work or any wrestler that criticizes my work, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, you're stupid and you're racist and you don't like this and you don't like my match because of this, and this. No, if you have actual constructive criticism, I'm going to look at that, take those notes, and put it towards my next match so it can be better and so I can be better. And it really upsets me when when creators and studios, instead of listening to the fans' critiques, the constructive criticism, and be like, yeah, we should probably change this next go-round, they double down on it and they continue to make the same mistakes. Sonic the Hedgehog, good example. Fans thought Sonic looked like trash. They changed the way Sonic looked. Sonic fans were like, hell yeah, we noticed that you did that. Regardless of if this movie's good or not, we're going to watch it. And it did so well that they came out with a sequel. And whether the movies were great or not, the fans supported it because they appreciated being heard. You know, Marvel's kind of doing that same thing. Phase 4, I thought was a shit show. And we'll see what they do in Phase 5. If they actually listen to the fans' complaints, or if they double down and continue to make the same mistakes and put out the same crap that they did for Phase 4. So what do you guys think? Am I blowing this way out of proportion? Do you agree with me? You know, if you go ahead and debate in the comment section, try not to kill each other. Try to keep it civil. Of course, it's YouTube comments, so I'm sure it's going to be horrific. But listen to each other. There's reasons why people have valid, actual complaints about something, and there's also reasons why people actually like something. Don't hate each other for it. But creators, producers, I doubt I have any reach whatsoever. But if you see this, stop having your head up your ass and look at the constructive criticism and change your product for the better. You'll make more money, because I know that's what you guys want to do, and you'll be able to have this product will have a longer life, you know, a longer shelf life. So I am Rohit Raju, the Mocha Skin Manimal. Next time we'll be talking about something else, and maybe we'll talk about the Secret Trilogy. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about fan bases, how horrible they are. We'll see. But thanks for watching this video. Take care, guys.